Hi guys, I'm going to show y'all how I install my hand-tied weft or machine-tied weft extensions. You want to make sure you start with a halo or horseshoe parting. I like to take mine pretty low to the nape. And starting off, I'm going to show you how to do the thick method. This is for your girls with thick hair that can hold this method. So you're going to take a little square sectioning and then you're going to pull that bead all the way through. It should be hard to pull that bead in because keep in mind these are going to be able to slip out. So you want to make sure that that hair fills that whole entire bead. You're going to pull it up to the scalp and clamp down. The good thing about this method is that it lasts you 4 to 6 weeks and the move up maintenance is pretty easy. The beads will move down and you would just unclamp them and move them right back up. If you want a video on how I maintenance these extensions, just let me know and I'll make a video on that also. But these are only for your girls with thick hair, so you can see that up and close and personal. This method that I'm going to show y'all is for girls with finer hair. So this method is the waterfall method, and this is going to apply for honestly any client, but preferably the girls with the thinner hair, the shorter hair, the ones that are going to slide right out. If you have girls who have oily hair, this is really great. And what you're going to do is take those same mini rectangles, but you're going to clip them going horizontal. So instead of going straight up and down, you're going to clip them going horizontal. So what you're going to do is take a little mini square like so and take half of the hair from the previous section B. So you can see some hair drops down and some hair we pick up, and you're going to feed that right through your looper like I'm about to show y'all right now. And then whenever you feed it right through, you're going to go along with the parting at a horizontal and then clip that right next to the head. And then I'm going to show y'all more right after that and what it looks like all the way down. So you can see the hairs that kind of come out and then the other ones that you feed in, and that creates that waterfall look. The reason why I love this method so much is not because it's easy for my girls who have slippage, but it's also great for not to show the bead. So if your girls don't like the bead showing, this is a great method. So you do half on one end and half on the other side, and then you're going to meet in the back in the middle, and I'm going to show you how to secure the middle part. So right when you come to the middle, you're going to take both hairs from each bead, half and half, not the full thing, and you're going to slide it in. Again, it should be kind of thick. It should be a good tug when you pull that bead in. And then you're going to go and pull it all the way up and clamp down. And you can get a good up-close view of what the waterfall looks like. Now, these are the hand-tied. I like to go ahead and measure and pin down. You cannot cut hand-tied hair. I want to go ahead and say this: you cannot cut hand-tied hair. You can cut machine-tied, but if it says hand-tied, please do not cut it. If it does not fit around the head, then you can grab another piece to finish it out. If it's too long, you can fold it back, but you cannot cut these guys. So I just had a little bit that didn't cover on one side, so I pinned it on the right side and then pinned it again on the left side. And then I'm going to have 4 equal hand-tied extensions going around this one section of hair. These are very thin. These are great for your fine-haired girls. You can also make them for thin-haired girls, but these are just really comfortable, really secure. They're really flexible in the hair, so this is why we picked them. And the brand I'm using is My Hairline Champagne Hair Extensions. I don't have it open to the public just yet, but hopefully I will soon for y'all. So I use my little pins and I like to go in between each section just to make sure it's secure. I don't like putting them at horizontals. I think putting them up and down in a vertical sectioning into the bead gives you the best hold because there's so many extensions that are needing to be held down. Remember, there's 4 separate things of the hand-tied extensions in this one row, so they are really flimsy, they are really flexible, so you really want to make sure those are nice and tight, so whenever it grows out nice and even for your client. So make sure that when you're applying it, you pin. I mean, if you need to use 30 pins, go ahead and use those 30 pins. You just want to make sure it's nice and tight and the girl, it's going to be nice and even. There should be no pain with this. It should be really, really comfortable for your client. Now we're going to get to sewing. You must use a nylon thread. That is key. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my hair needle, my sewing needle, and I'm going through the 3rd or 4th bead. You want to go a little bit far back, and you want to just thread that needle all the way to the very, very end. And you're going to see, I'm going to pull that string until it gets to the very end of that string. And what you're going to do is you're going to knot it. I like to knot mine 3 to 4 times. So you can see I have it, I pull it tight, and we're going to knot it and keep knotting it and keep knotting it a couple of times. Now I'm going to feed that needle through the bead and past the extensions, and you're going to see that it loops. You want your needle in between the 2 strings. I don't know if you can see up close, my hand's in there. I like to feed the needle in between, so it should be a little loop, and then pull tight right up, and then you're just going to continue going towards the face. So I'm not going back to the other side. You start on the 4th bead, and you want to go all the way towards the face, and we're going to sew because you want those secure. And then you can see as I get towards the face, we're going to secure it. When I get to the very end of that weft, I'm going to go through that one section at least 3 times, and then I'm going to start going backwards. So you want to go all the way forwards towards the face, and then sew 3 to 4 times, just make sure that flap is secure, and then you're going to start going around the head. So here's me going fast. We already went towards the face. Now we're going around the head, all the way around, and then you're gonna work your way again towards the face on the right-hand side. Now, when you get towards the face, you're gonna do what I said. You're gonna go all the way to the front of that weft, and then you are going to go through it 3 to 4 times just to secure those flaps. You want to anchor them down, and then you're going to stitch halfway going back. And I'm going to show you what I mean here in a minute. Now that I stitched all the way towards the face, you're going to see in the next clip that I start going backwards. You don't have to go backwards all the way. Just I like to do at least 2 or 3 inches from where that weft starts. And you're going to see I'm about, I don't know, maybe like 1.5 inches back. And then in this next clip, I want you to really pay attention. We're just stitching backwards. But in this next clip, I'm going to teach you how to knot it. When you have this knot, you want to make sure that this string is not going to be able to come undone. So you're going to take this needle and you're going to go through your existing stitching. This is stitching that we already have. And then you're going to take that needle and put it through that loop. So remember, it's going to create a little loop and you want that in between. And you want to do this at least 2 or 3 times and just pull it tight and then just clip that string right off. You don't have to worry about it. And this is the first row, you can see it. And this is what it's going to look like laying down. We are going to add a second row. So this is just going to be a quick recap. This is what the second row looks like. With the waterfall beading. Now, I like to make sure that the second row is at least 2 inches above the first row, and then I want to be aware of calic. So she has a calic, you want to go 1 inch below that calic. You want to go at least 1 inch or 2 away from her hairline. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. Away from the hairline, that way it doesn't tug on her hairline and she can cover it pretty easily. And then you want it at least an inch or two above her ear, because when that weft starts growing out, it's going to be visible whenever she puts it in a ponytail, or it's going to be visible whenever she wears it down, or it's just going to be uncomfortable. So you want to make sure it's 2 inches away from the hairline, at least 2 inches away from the top of the ear. And you also want to make sure it's 2 inches away any kind of hairline in the back of her nape. So you want it 2 inches away from her nape as well, just so she can be able to pull it up in a ponytail. I think we did my clients at like 2.5 inches. But this is just a recap, just in case y'all missed anything. I stitched all the way forward, I'm stitching all the way back, and I'm just going to go all the way around the hair. And you can see that at a different angle. So this is what it looks like. We haven't cut it, we haven't styled it or anything. I just want to see what it looks like without having to do anything. That's me lifting up the first weft, so you can see that the beads don't show. And just how seamless, how much hair this 6 bags of extensions really is. And I'm going to show you what it looks like all styled here in a minute. So this is her exposing the weft. You can see how seamless, it's nice and thick. You can barely see it. It looks like her natural hair coming down. Sorry, my dogs are playing in the background. Oh my God. Okay. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like under the first and second row. So that's what it looks like pulling that weft up and exposing those beads. It's pretty hard to see.